we left off. And it is I, Rakisha, the demon, who answers. The man's cub is mine, Lungri, mine to me. He shall not be killed. He shall live to run with the pack and to hunt with the pack. And in the end, look you, hunter of little naked cubs, frog eater, fish killer. He shall hunt thee. Now get henceforth by the Sambor I killed him. I eat no starved cattle. Back thou goest to thy mother, burnt feet of the jungle, lamer than ever thou camest into the world. Go. Father Wolf, looked on amazed. He had almost forgotten the days when he won Mother Wolf in a fair fight from 5 other wolves, when she ran in the pack and was not called the demon for compliment's sake. Shere Khan might have faced Father Wolf, but he could not stand up to against Mother Wolf, for he knew that where he was, she had all the advantage of the ground and would fight on until death. So he backed out of the cave mouth, growling, and when he had cleared, he shouted, "Each dog barks in his own yard. We will see what the pack will say to this fostering of a man cub. The cub is mine, in my teeth, and by my teeth he will come in the end. Oh, bush-tailed thieves." Mother Wolf threw herself down, panting among the cubs, and Father Wolf said to her gravely, "Shere Khan, speaks this much truth? The cub must be shown to the pack. Wilt thou keep him, mother?" "Keep him," she grasped. He came naked by night, alone, very hungry, yet he was not afraid. Look, he has pushed one of my babies onto its side already, and that lame butcher who have killed him would have run off to the Wangunga, while the villagers were hunted through all the layers in revenge. Keep him? Surely I will keep him. Lie still, little frog. O thou Mowgli, for Mowgli the frog I will call thee. The time will come when thou wilt hunt Shere Khan as he has hunted thee. But what will our pack say, Father Wolf? Said Father Wolf. The law of the jungle lays down very clearly that wolves may, when he marries, withdraw from the pack he belongs to. But as soon as his cubs are old enough to stand on their own feet, he must bring them to the pack council, which is generally held once a month at a full moon, in order that the other wolves may identify them. After that inspection, the cubs are free to run where they please, and until they have killed their first buck, no excuse is accepted if the grown wolf of the pack kills one of them. The punishment is death, where the murderer can be found. And if you think for a minute, you will see that this must be so. Father Wolf waited until his cubs could run a little, and then on the night of the pack meeting, took them to Mowgli and the Mother Wolf to the Council Rock, a hilltop covered with stones and boulders where 100 wolves could hide. Akela, the great gray lone wolf, who led all the pack by strength and cunning, lay out at full length on his rock. And below him sat 40 or 50 wolves of every size and color, from badger-colored veterans who could handle a buck alone to young black 3-year-olds who thought they could. The lone wolf had led them for the year now. He had fallen twice into the wolf trap in his youth, and once he had been beaten and left for dead, so he knew the manners and the customs of men. There was very little talking at the rock. The cubs tumbled over each other in the center of the circle, where their mothers and their fathers sat, and now and again a senior wolf would go quietly up to the cub, look at him carefully, and return to his place on noiseless feet. Sometimes the mother would push her cub far out into the moonlight to be sure that he had not been overlooked. Akela from his rock would cry, "Ye know the law, ye know the law. Look well, O wolves and anxious mothers who take up the call. Look well, O wolves." At last, Mother Wolf's neck bristles lifted as the time came. Father Wolf pushed Mowgli the Frog, as they called him, into the center where he sat laughing and playing with some pebbles that glistened in the moonlight. Akela never raised his head from his paws, but he went on with the monster's cry, "Look well." A muffled roar came up from behind the rocks. The voice of Shere Khan cried, "The cub is mine! Give him to me!" What have the free people to do with a man's cub? Akela never twitched his ears. All he said was, "Look well, O wolves, what have the free people to do with the orders of any save the free people? Look well." There was a chorus of deep growls, and the young wolf in his fourth year flung back Shere Khan's question to Akela. What have the free people to do with a man's cub? Now the law of the jungle lays down that if there is any dispute as to the right of a cub to be accepted by the pack, he must be spoken for by at least 2 members of the pack who are not his father and mother. Who speaks for this cub? said Akela. Among free people, who speaks? There is no answer. Meeting at the council rock. Look at that. Who's in the foreground? Those stripes don't look like a wolf's stripes, do they? No, they don't. Mother Wolf got ready. No, there's no answer. And Mother Wolf got ready for what she knew would be her last fight. If things came to fighting, then the only other creature who allowed the pack council, who was allowed there, Baloo, a sleepy brown bear who teaches the wolf cubs the law of the jungle. Old Baloo, who can come and go where he pleases because old Baloo eats only nuts and roots and honey. And old Baloo rose upon his hindquarters and grunted. The man's cub, he said. I speak for the man's cub. There is no harm in the man's cub. I have no gift of words, no, but I speak the truth. Let him run with the pack and be entered with the others. I myself will teach him. We need yet another, said Akela. Baloo has spoken, and he is our teacher for the young cubs who speaks besides Baloo. A black shadow dropped down into the circle. It was Bagheera, the Black Panther, inky black all over, but with the panther marking showing up in certain lights like the pattern of watered silk. Everyone knew Bagheera, and nobody cared to cross his path, for he was as cunning as Tabaqai, as bold as the wild buffalo, and as restless as the wounded elephant, but he had a voice as soft as wild honey dripping from a tree, and a skin softer than down. O Akela, and ye free people, he purred, I have no right in your assembly, but the law of the jungle says that if there is a doubt, which is not a killing matter in regard to the new cub, the life of the cub may be bought at a price, and the law does not say who may or may not pay that price. Am I right? Good, to the young wolves, who are always hungry. Listen to Bagheera. The cub can be bought for a price. It is the law. Knowing that I have no right to speak here, I asked your leave. Speak then, cried 20 voices. To kill a naked cub is shame. Besides, he may make better sport for you when he is grown. Baloo has spoken on his behalf. Now Baloo's word, I will add one bull, and a fat one nearly killed not a half mile from here. If ye will accept the man cub according to the law, is it difficult? There was a clamor of scores of voices saying, "What matter? He will die in the winter rains. He will be scorched in the sun. What harm can a naked frog do us? Let him run with the pack. Where is the bull Bagheera? Let him be accepted." And then came Akela's deep bay, crying, look well, O wolves." Mowgli was still deeply interested in the pebbles, and he did not notice when the wolves came and looked at him one by one. At last they were all down the hill for the dead bull, and only Akela, Bagheera, Baloo, and Mowgli's own wolves were left. Shere Khan roared still in the night, for he was very angry that Mowgli had not been handed over to him. I roar well, said Bagheera under his whiskers, "for the time will come when this naked thing will make thee roar to another tune, or I know nothing of man." "It is well done," said Akela. "Men and their cubs are very wise. He may be a help in time." "Truly, a help in time of need, for none can hope to lead the pack forever," said Bagheera. Akela said nothing. He was thinking of the time when that comes to every leader of every pack, when his strength goes from him and he gets feebler and feebler till at last he is killed by the wolves. The new leader comes to be killed in his turn. "Take him away," said Father Wolf, and train him as benefits one of the free people. And that is how Mowgli was entered into the Sinewy pack for the price of a bull and on Baloo's good word. The Jungle Book, to be continued. Hope you enjoy.